Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare doesn't feel like other multiplayer third-person shooters. Firefights can still be fast and furious with good shooting, class-based combat, and 2 teams of 12 players each, but thanks to its zany character classes and silly sound effects, it's actually laugh-out-loud funny. It's a good game that spits bright green peas in the face of today's brown and gray shooters. Garden Warfare takes the popular characters from Plants vs. Zombies, renders them in 3D, and then pits them against each other in class-based combat. Remember the cacti? They now snipe enemies from a distance with needles, and they can plant potato mines to cover their backs. The Chomper burrows underground and spits goo onto its enemies to slow them and deactivate their abilities. While some classes will feel familiar to shooter fans, it doesn't feel like a Plants vs. Zombies skin was just slapped over a bland game. Garden Warfare respects the source material and uses it to inspire abilities that make sense and feel good to use. Plants vs. Zombies' fun visual humor also creeps its way into Garden Warfare. From the overweight engineer zombie, remember him, to the hilarious sounding cacti, I love how detailed each class is. My favorite example is when the sunflower plants itself in the ground and blasts out a devastating sun ray, all while smiling with that gigantic orange happy face. It just radiates an enjoyable silliness. Garden Warfare has a relatively complex class system, with all unique classes and abilities on each side. Despite the asymmetry, neither side feels advantaged in any specific game mode, and it's easy to jump into. Every class has only 3 abilities, and each is introduced with short and fun animated tutorial videos as they quickly unlock. So, if you have a hunch that the pure melee Chomper class is for you, you only need to play a couple of matches to know for sure. Only 3 modes are available, and 2 are pretty standard shooter fare. Team Vanquish is your standard 24-player deathmatch mode. First to 50 kills wins. Just like in the Battlefield games, reviving a downed teammate subtracts a point from the enemy's score, which encourages teamwork. I was pleasantly surprised by the number of times I was brought back from the dead without even needing to ask. Gardens and Graveyards is an attack and defend mode with a series of gardens that the zombies need to overtake before time runs out. The mode is fine, if a bit standard, but the best part is that the final round is always a unique activity like destroying the roots of a giant sunflower lighthouse or getting 5 zombies into a highly defensible mansion. It's even more hectic and difficult than the previous stages, and it feels like a finale instead of just an ending. A handful of maps are available in each mode, and they do a fine job of creating different scenarios within the same game mode. One level is packed with hills and tall buildings, which makes getting the high ground advantageous. Others are more urban and condensed, making the melee and shotgun classes especially dangerous. Each map also looks distinct, thanks to strong landmarks and varied art design. The last mode is more distinctive, and the closest thing to the original Plants vs. Zombies tower defense gameplay. It's a horde-like survival mode, which is you and up to 3 other friends against computer-controlled enemies. It's also the only mode you can play in split screen. You must build and protect a garden from increasingly powerful waves of zombies. The garden can be planted in various places, which is great because it doesn't feel like you're always stuck in one area of the map. Flower pots are littered around the map, and in them, you can plant several kinds of plants. Certain combinations work better than others, and it's satisfying to figure out which flowers work best against which enemies. The tricky and fulfilling part is rearranging your defenses based on which type of wave you're fighting. The engineer zombies can teleport right past your pots, so long-range attackers would be more useful, for example. It requires coordination of all players involved, and pairing abilities together pays off. What's interesting is that the potted plants you're placing aren't unlimited. You start with a small inventory of common plants, and more are unlocked through booster packs that can be bought with in-game currency. So, while opening a handful of packs might yield 20 common pea shooters, it's possible you'll only find 2 or 3 snapdragons. Once you use them, they're gone until you open more packs. Their limited nature makes rounds more tense. Do you really want to use one of your rare plants now, or do you want to hold on to it? There are no microtransactions in Garden Warfare right now, but EA says they'll be added in the future. Packs also contain accessories to customize your classes. Buying them isn't a problem because you earn money so quickly, and it's satisfying to unlock new glasses and mustaches and other cosmetic bits to make your characters more personalized. Garden Warfare respects its roots by preserving its characters and their humor and skillfully adapting their charm to a third-person shooter. A few clever twists on the standard modes give the action some fresh personality, and the co-op survival mode is a fun homage to the original games. Plus the solid controls, fun modes, and varied map design make it a good shooter to boot. For all things Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, keep it locked to IGN.